Everyone, this is Mani here, kicking off another episode of our AI GTM talk series. Today it's episode 8. And just a little bit of background on these talks. We've been bringing in some amazing AI GTM tech founders, also revenue leaders who are actively investing in AI for go-to-market and are able to share their learnings. Um, it's 45 minutes. We do a deep dive with one founder in one of these sessions, and super excited to invite. And we're so glad he's here with us, Siva Surendra of Lizer AI. Siva, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Mani. Thanks for having me here. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, absolutely. Siva, I'm just gonna put up this slide just so folks know, who we are, who you are. And just take a quick overview on us so people know who we are, 30 seconds. And then, of course, the rest of the episode is all about Lizer, of course, Shiva. So at Quanzu, we've been focused on unifying buying signals, both person level, company level buying signals, helping companies all the way from SMB to mid market with the outbound motion. So we automate the outbound process. And these buying signals, we essentially are developing and have been building out a series of workflows, so automation workflows. So think of it as really automating the outbound function with one-to-one personalized messages, all the way from sales emails to LinkedIn to phone calls and so forth. We're starting to work with a number of customers in that area. That is, in a nutshell, what we do. But the motivation for this talk series for us was we found that there's a lot of confusion in the market, lots of different parts and pieces of GTM tech, and putting it all together has been a challenge for customers, right? Making sense of all the tech out there and how do you kind of really utilize it and get value. So again, glad to have you, Shiva. So let me actually switch over into discussion mode here. So let me stop the screen share and kick it off with just a basic question. Shiva, could you just tell us real quick, Lizer, what do you all do? And maybe we'll start there.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Mani. Uh, Lizer is an agent infrastructure platform for enterprises, also startups as well. You can build your agents and multi-agent systems and automate not just workflows, but even job functions. In a way, for example, you can build an AI SDR agent and just pick up from exactly where Quanzu completes the cycle from a I would say the sourcing perspective. So and we are we have enterprise customers today solving various problems from sales automation, marketing automation, all the way to HR automation,
Yeah.
and even business processes like loan origination automation, claims processing automation, and so on. I think
Mhm.
in a way we are seeing the world evolving into building AI employees of the future. So Lizer becomes the place where all your AI employees are available, one click away. If you want to launch a customer support team, come one click, you now have thousands of customer support agents going live. So that's how Lizer is evolving into this whole AI workforce space as we move forward.
Okay, that's awesome. And then, as you know, given right the context of folks who tend to listen into our talk series, they're more focused on the outbound, let's call it the
Yes,
go-to-market use cases. So
yes,
hopefully we can dive deeper into that aspect of Lizer. And I do know that you were, I think, one of the early folks with an AI SDR solution with I think you called it JSON.
yes.
Uh, so can you? We should get to that, but before we do that, let me ask you this. Today, in terms of your current infrastructure platform and AI agent infrastructure, can you talk about the target segments in terms of SMB, mid-market, enterprise, industries, personas, buying teams, buying groups that you all are going after?
Yeah, we normally go after large enterprise and mid-market enterprise because Lizer's USP among this crowded agent market is agent builder platform market is the fact that we have safe AI and responsible AI components built natively into the core agent architecture. We are the only agent framework to do so. And then the platform allows organizations to build and manage thousands of agents at scale in one single place. So definitely mid-market and large enterprise and mid-markets. But at the same time, the platform is self-serve. We have a community plan which is free. You get 500 credits per month. So a lot of startups and SMBs are using our platform. They're not even a paid customer, but they have built, say, outreach agents. They've built blog writing agents, and they're using it for free. So more from a startups and SMB space, it's self-serve and PLG, but and we are building for larger enterprises, which is where the platform continues to evolve as well.
Okay, okay, wonderful. And maybe um, if you can elaborate, I think I think people might want to hear your call it the AI SDR Jason
Yeah,
story a little bit. Yeah,
yeah. Let's. That's an interesting journey, right? So,
yeah, yeah.
Lizer, we launched the studio in just around Christmas last year. It's been just 3 months now. We have 9,000 developers on the platform, 1,700 plus organizations on the platform,
Got it.
and a good amount of paying customers just onboarded in Q1, and we are growing even faster. Um, I just posted something today on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
We got to an ARR in Q1, and we doubled our ARR in 15 days in this quarter. So, and we have another 2.5 months left in this quarter. So that is the level of growth we are seeing.
Mhm.
But it was not the case last year. So last year, Lizer was, we never had the studio on top. We were a framework company only. So as a
Mhm.
developer, you can take our SDKs and build agents, very similar to LangGraph, Crew AIs of the world. And we wanted to promote the idea of building multi-agent systems on our platform. And I think it was May, we had Jason Lemkin, who many of you would know if you're in the space, this founder of SaaSTR. He made it. He had a tweet. He said, he tweeted, sorry, saying that, okay, I'm going to the Europe SaaSTR conference. It'll be fantastic if there is an agent that can accept the CSV files of all our possible sponsors, reach out to them automatically, answer any questions that they may have over email, and eventually convert them as sponsors for us, which is very simple 5-line requirement he wrote on, he tweeted about on Twitter. Then I thought, okay, this is a fantastic idea for us to try with our agent orchestration framework. So we got to work in 3 days. We built it and shipped it, even with the along with the UI. Uh, and that tweet started gaining traction because you already had 11x, Artisan, and few other companies in that space, but they all are softwares. They are like agents from a layman's point of view. But if you wrap open what is happening, it's just a software. There is nothing agentic about it. But Lizer is an agent platform who's trying to recreate the soft, exactly the AISDR that they had. So it's a very different approach that we brought to the table. And since the logic is in the back end, which is in the multi-agent system, as an organization, you can now customize the way you want. You are not stuck with a default platform. And it went viral. We got to 200 plus customers who signed up for the early preview. We went to 4.3 million in contracted ARR. All of a sudden, it's all happened in Q3 so quickly. A16Z started featuring us as an AISDR. Many other large brands started featuring us. But I come from, I mean, I did my previous startup. I scaled it to 200 plus people, sold it. I then did almost 500 million of business for the company that acquired me, which was LTI. I come from a very strong. I'm not a like. I won't say I'm a good salesperson, but I know one or two things about sales, and I realized that ASDRs is actually a false promise. To be really
Mhm.
honest, because the when I started speaking to the customers who wanted to try ASDRs, I asked them what is their goal. Predominantly, most of them said, "I want 20 meetings next week from the ASDR." It was they were not even considering where they are as a product. They were not considering whether there's a product market fit, whether there is a buying signal from the customer, which is where Kwanzaa comes in. None of Without any of this, They just felt that AISDR is going to send 100,000 emails and it's going to land me 20 meetings. Did
Mhm.
did AISDR send 100,000 emails? Answer is yes. Did it send personalized email? Answer is yes. Was it pretty smart about writing and following up and answering questions? Answers yes. But how many meetings did they get? Zero. Zero after zero after zero. And I realized that okay, this is not good because we were also trying ASDR for Lizer as well. And I realized that, and we had some success because of the hype already in the market for AASDR. And when
Right.
an AASDR is selling an AASDR, you tend to respond back. But if an AASDR is selling a compliance management software or an agent to a bank, you won't get the response. So, which was what was happening. So we ended up giving our code base because we were building on our open source version back then. So we just gave the code to the team and say to our customers and said, look, this is not working out. We did try. Few customers were very patient. They really wanted to make it work. Fantastic. Thanks to those design partners. But all of us collectively came to a conclusion that you should not look at AASDRs to get you meetings. If you start looking at AISDR from a very different lens, it works beautifully. What is the lens? AISDRs are the most effective and cost efficient way to reach to your customers. You
Mhm.
can get into 100,000 inboxes and you don't have to spend $10,000 on Google ads or other channels. That is actually a different lens to look at AISDR. And if you look at ROI, it makes absolute sense. And when customers started looking from that perspective, I think things started changing, and I'll cover that today as well on how things have changed right now. But this is our experience with AISDR. We were brave enough to pull out of a $4.3 million contracted ARR booking because, yeah, it was just not right to mislead customers.
Got it. So you felt there was a lot of messages going out to prospects' inboxes. The response wasn't there. You weren't getting the meetings, and you weren't delivering on the quote expectation. I guess customers expecting
Not
what
just us, every other player in the market. We
every
know the
player in the
numbers.
market.
We know the numbers. Numbers are horrible. Some of the
Right.
numbers came out, and as you may know, there were some tweets around few companies I don't want to name, but this is because if it works today, we would have had 100 companies in this space.
Got it.
It is not. Yeah.
Got it. So the point you're making is there's a lot of pre-work that needs to happen, whether it's building the brand, increasing brand awareness, communicating the value prop well in advance, and at the end of the day, the prospect will engage when the prospect is ready to engage. Right?
And
They
reaching out
they
to the right people at the right time. So the quality of who you write to, when do you write, is more important than the quality of the emails, which is where I think the market is being misled.
And so that actually feeds right into some of the things. I'm not trying to talk about what we're doing, but the trend, broader trend in the industry is so-called signal-based prospecting, signal-based selling, right? Understanding buying signals. Who's in the market, who's buying on your own website and off of your website. And I think you're right. I mean, that seems to be the new thing a lot of people are focusing on. Where are the signals, right? Bringing in the signals, aggregating the signals, social, right, on your site, off your site, etc. So yeah, no, that's great. So typically at this point, Siva, we try to get a demo, right? A quick 3 to 5 minute demo for folks can get a sense of what you all have built. Would you be able to give us a quick demo? That would help.
Let me bring it up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sharing my screen.
Yep.
Hope you're able to see the screen.
Not yet. I think it might be that particular tab you may need to share.
Oh, not
So
the entire
this,
screen. Oh, okay.
yeah, entire screen doesn't work. So you can go to your demo tab and kind of share that.
Yes. Okay. Hope you're able to see it now.
Still, no, still don't see it. We're still on screen between us, but
I can
yeah.
see the tab.
Oh, yeah,
You
it
can see
came
the.
up now. We're good. Yeah, we're good to go.
All right, cool. So this is the studio
Mhm.
for practitioners here. You can actually go ahead and build your own agents and use them. There's a community plan. Like I said, it's free. Studio.liza.ai. Building an agent is probably the easiest one. I'll probably show the proposal builder, which is one of my favorite agents that I run almost every day. So this
Yeah.
is I just name description of what the agents does. You can select the provider. We have all the top providers, and you can also select the models that you want. There is a small guide here which helps you choose the right agent for the right use case. Then just give a role, right? I said, okay, the agent should write technical proposals for me, and I gave the instructions. I gave the instructions in plain English, and click on improve to improve it. And I don't need any tool or any examples. I leave it for now. Once I build this agent, this is where the core features come in. Like I said, Lizer focuses on responsible and safe AI components. So I can enable all of it to make them much more safer in an enterprise setting. But if you're a startup or SMB, you don't have to bother about it. It is still okay. And in one click, I can launch the agent into an app right now. So this is how the proposal builder looks. So what happens today after a call? I just have to go and copy, say, the transcript of the call. Let me do that. And all I have to do is just share the transcript here, and the agent will automatically understand and start writing a proposal for me, including executive summary and so on. So that is how easy it is to build an agent for your own personal use. And now from there on, you can extend to build complex agents. For example, what you see here is the GTM mega agent that we say, where you can brainstorm with the agent. It's a multi-agent system, as you could see. So you can brainstorm with the agent for content ideation. Once that is done, the agent starts repurposing the core content into, say, it does programmatic SEO, it writes blogs for you, it then starts doing email outreach via
Uh,
email campaigns
so
and so
sorry,
on.
Shiva. Are you showing us another agent? Because right now we
Yes.
see.
Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yeah, yeah, moving
Yeah.
on.
Go ahead.
I thought I shared the whole window. Are you able to see
So,
now the workflow?
yes. Yeah. This is your GTM agent. Got it. Okay.
This is a GTM mega agent blueprint, where there is a content ideation agent with which you can ideate, brainstorm, and get the right content done. And then you can move on to then the next agent picks the content, repurposes it for LinkedIn, for blog posts, etc. It also can do programmatic SEO, and it can do SEO optimization as well. But more importantly, the email outreach. We also have some of the B2C customers use our AI phone dialer to also call customers if required. And you have AI LinkedIn outreach as well. And if you see, this is an expanding scenario. The agent continues to grow based on the customer scenario, based on what you want to do. It's not like set in stone. But we also realize that a lot of SMBs and startups may want to start something almost instantly. So that's why we launched JSON again. Now, this agent is absolutely free. It is available on the studio. Uh, I'll just show it again. If you go to studio, if you go to marketplace, go to sales hub, you will see JSON AI SDR. It is absolutely
Mm.
free. You can launch it and you can start setting it up. But this is how the agent looks in real. Set up initially the campaign. This is where you explain. You can create any number of campaigns, by the way, unlimited. You can
Mhm.
here explain how the agent should sell. So give it the pain points that it should address, give it the case studies for it to kind of know how to go after, some customer testimonials which it can use as well. Once you do that, step two is helping the agent understand what to sell. So you can upload your product or service PDF documents, websites, and text, etc. And step three is mode. So we have two modes. One is sales mode, which is pre-built mode here, where you have 7 mini agents that get to work, like pain points, agitation. It'll then send the initial solution, then it'll share a customer proof and so on. This agent focuses on trying to convert a sale in 7 steps. You can also configure how do you want agents to handle the configurations. Do you want it to forward the emails to you as soon as customer responds, or do you want the agent to automatically handle conversations? And for each agent, you can also test it here by giving updates to construct and format an email template, and you can test instantly on how the agent reacts, and you can give feedback continuously so that you can also improve the agents yourself. But as a practitioner, you also would have your own way of selling. So if you want that to happen, move to custom mode. In custom mode, you can create your own sequence of mini agents, right? And moving on to prospects, which is where Kwanzaa comes into picture, right? Like if your enriched data from Kwanzaa with the right sales signals could be uploaded here, and the agent will go and do further research about who the individual is by scraping their last 20 posts on LinkedIn, who the company is, scraping their 20 their profile and 20 posts on LinkedIn, and also use Perplexity API to build industry knowledge about the customer. So there are three agents which collects more information about the customer, which is what will be used by the final emailing agent. You can schedule it the way you want, and then the here is where you will be able to see all the emails, how it sends, and how does it responds back. And if you're not happy with the way it writes emails, pretty simple, go back, give more feedback, and the agent will continue to improve. So this agent is typically powered by GPT, but as you see here, you can change the models as well. You can choose from Google to Anthropics to Grok's to OpenAI provider, any other model. Some of our customers use the Grok's DeepSeek Distill Llama 70B for writing personalized emails because it can do better reasoning. So this is what Studio does, and JSON that you see is built on top of the Studio, which is also accessible via the agent marketplace, and it is absolutely free under both the free plan and the paid plan. Over to you,
Okay,
Mani.
that's
This is yeah,
no. This is amazing. Yeah. So obviously, this triggers a whole series of questions for me. So we can switch back into discussion mode. But thank you for that demo. Um,
pleasure.
so first up, I guess is uh, let's just stay on the GTM, right? And these types of use cases. What are you seeing in terms of value that they're trying to realize at the end of the day? I know people care about pipeline, and then backing from pipeline. As you said, it's qualified meetings, and um, but have you seen any kind of metric ratio to say, if they deploy your deployment, your dev
Yeah,
platform, there's obviously
yeah,
cost associated to all this AI and LLM models and everything.
yeah,
How are people thinking about it, and how do you articulate that or explain that to the customer to
yeah.
think about
If your messaging is very good and if it's a hot space, you can see the responses somewhere between in the ratio of 1.5% to 6.5%. That is for every 100 emails that go out, 100 contacts who are reached out, you could expect the response rate to be in that range if everything works out really well. If you are in the hottest space possible, for example, you launched an AI phone dialer, which is a very hot space, you can also see responses go all the way up to 10%. Now, is it because the agent writes some fantastic emails? No, it is just because there is a high market sentiment. Everyone wants to latch on to it. As long as your pricing and other aspects are good, you can even see that response rate. So that is the number, stats wise. And in terms of how the customers approach GTM today, there is a short term view and a long term view. When you take a long term view, you're thinking about brand establishment, establishing your brand with the right, I would say, signals. So that always works out because you then start looking much broader. You're not just looking at sending 100,000 emails. You are now looking at, okay, SDR is part of my strategy, but I'm going to also write a lot of SEO optimized blog posts. I'm going to be writing case studies and technical papers. I will be probably attending events locally. I would get my social media game up and running. Like I'll be more active on LinkedIn with the help of my agents, more active on Twitter and Reddit, etc. So you start now looking at a much broader picture. Then what happens? You're not necessarily relying on outbound. You also get a lot of inbound leads coming in. So take Lizer. We hired our first outbound SCR this week, finally. We've never had an outbound team at all so far. It's all just inbound. Because it's all about taking a long-term view of establishing the brand over a period of time. But I do understand that we still need food on the table today. So you need to still have a short term view as well, which is where outbound strategy comes in. As far as outbound is concerned, what we recommend is, hey, do not have a spray and pray approach, because spray and pray works for your long term, not for short term, which is where the quality of outreach is very important. Who do you write to? Do they have a real pain right now? What are the signals that they are share that they share, which kind of which you can latch on to? So that is why, as far as the short term is concerned, don't go with a spray and pray approach. Go with a very precise outreach focus. I would go to an extent to recommend money that don't even use AISDRs for outreach. If you are looking at short term, right? You have Instantly and other platforms where you can write your own sequence. So as long as you get the signals right from your, say, from Quanzus and other platforms, just focus on writing just via Instantly, because you will still get a lot of traction there. So that's my view on short term, long term, and how the GTM is being approached
Right,
right
and
now.
there's a lot of there's a debate in the industry, right, and different points of view on the calling aspect, meaning a human SDR who actually makes the dials and calls, and you know, and that has to be a necessary or essential component of the outreach. You don't just send out an email, don't just send out LinkedIn. Where do you stand on that? Like, what's your take?
Yes. If you're an enterprise or a mid market, absolute no for, I mean, to using AI agents for calling outbound. If you're an enterprise or a mid market enterprise, you can still use AI voice agents for customer support, but that is a different use case altogether.
Right.
Coming to sales point of view, do not use AI agents to call and pitch your product or service, period. But if you're a startup or SMB, you can play around. It's not you're still in early stage. You're not going to hurt your brand a lot. You can still use them to see what happens. Uh, Especially if you're B2C, it's a no-brainer. Go with AI outbound calling, because B2C, the more people you reach out to, the more outcome that you would have. So if you're a B2C, go ahead and do that. If you're B2B, handle it with care, tread cautiously.
And it's
But
a human SDR, is what you're saying. It has to be human SDR, an
it has to
actual
be
person.
humanistic. Correct, correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Now, even
But
on the B2C side, I mean, I've heard at least somebody tell me about regulations and robocalling is not allowed, and things of that nature. Any comments
not
on that?
not in the US, at least at this point in time.
Okay.
Not very. Europe, absolutely don't do anything at all in Europe, because
Yeah.
you don't know what's going to come and hurt you. But in US, it's not. You've seen companies doing really, really well in this space. Number one,
Mhm.
and this is where I want to share another interesting aspect. Why to use AI phone agent to call and sell? Why can't you use the AI phone agent to call and do a survey? It's all about taking your brand to the customer and helping them understand what do you do. So there are various other ways you can approach this apart from doing a hard sell, right?
Right.
It can call and just be an informational agent saying, hey, I'm not here to sell anything, but I want you to know about New Jersey's property management policies. That's it. So you're not, it's just an informational agent calling and sharing a stat with you, which you would find relevant. So there are various other ways to reach a customer without selling, and you can use AI phone agents for those.
Okay. Awesome. And let's move on to a few other topics that I've got. One of them is how do you see, with the whole AI and the frameworks and everything else, pricing models are changing, right? So traditional SaaS pricing was platform pricing, per user pricing. There's a lot of outcome-based pricing, usage-based pricing. Where do you all fall at Liza in that spectrum?
Yes, I see a lot of companies charge for agents that they build, which we don't follow that model. Unlimited agents. First of all, you can
Got
build
it.
any number of agents. Number one. Number two, any number of end users. You can build one agent and roll it out to 10 million users. You're still paying only for consumption. So you're not
Got it.
limited to the number of users who will use your agent. Number two. So there are only two parameters that we use for charging. One is the consumption itself. How many credits do you use?
Hmm.
Because anything that you do with AI, we need to pay to OpenAI, Perplexity, etc.
Got it. So the
Right?
credit is when you customize a message, when you do some AI API calls to all those
Correct. When it
elements.
writes an email, or when
Hmm.
it fetches the knowledge from the knowledge base, or when it uses any of our internal safe AI, responsible AI modules. So that is
Correct.
where the credits are consumed. And the second one is builder licenses. So if you are a startup or an SMB, you may need, say, probably 20 builder licenses, which could be shared with your developers and also with your business users. If you're a larger enterprise, you would need somewhere between 200 to 20,000 licenses. It depends on how you go about. So yeah, so these are the two, uh, just two things that we kind of metered, but unlimited agents and unlimited end users.
And what's your vision of who the builders are? Are they any particular department or function, or are you thinking in an enterprise if you have 20,000 employees, what percent ratio of the employees do you see being
Yes,
builders?
yeah, very good question. If you look at Lizer, I've not even shared a few of the components that are coming up, which are more business user or citizen developer friendly, where you can build pretty complex workflows. You can build lovable like app UIs for your agents, everything in the system. You can also just build via voice. You don't even have to type. Just speak and build the agents. So the way we look at the world is, uh, for all the low and medium complexity agents that you want to build, you can build purely via no code. There's literally nothing. You don't need technical experience or coding experience. So that is low and medium. Then you have some uh, high complexity scenarios where you need developers to come in and do some integrations, do some integrations on cloud or integrating with databases, etc. Then comes the last 5%, which is where you need advanced dev mode, which is something that we're working on releasing as well, which is where you go to the finer aspects of it. Okay, how many messages should the agent, how many logs should the agent should have in its short-term memory? By default, we give 100, but if you want to tweak those parameters further, which is where you get to the advanced dev mode. So these are the three types of users who could use, but we are trying to ensure that even a citizen developer can go ahead and build an AI SDR themselves without having to write even one line of code.
Got it. Got it. And what about, obviously, another dimension is really, I can think of two things, right? One is integrations. A lot of these pieces of tech, people are always thinking, okay, what all points of connection do I need to have within the enterprise, connected to different systems and tools? And then the other thing is, of course, agents talking to agents, the whole notion of agentic communication, the inter-agent communication, and the context protocols and other things that are coming up. Can you touch upon those two aspects? Where
Yeah.
uh, just for GTM use cases, what are you seeing in terms of typical touch points or integration points?
All the basic GTM software stack are
Yeah,
already available. HubSpot, Salesforce,
got it.
Zoho.
So all the maps and all the CRMs and whatever. Yeah, okay,
Yes, all those available, and they are like one-click integration. There is nothing you don't have to do any development stuff, code stuff. Number one.
got it.
Number two, right? For any like for example, we worked with a client of ours who who are in the restaurant franchisee space, and they use a CRM called Client Teether, which is like no one knows that there is a CRM, such a CRM, but it's very popular among the franchisee business scenario.
Got it.
And luckily, they had a REST API. So at Lizer, we have a 24-hour SLA to come up with new integrations. We were able to ship the agents integration. But if you're a developer, you can do it your own. We have custom tool addition. You can build your own integration. In the world of GPT, Cursor, and Windsurfs of the world, integrate such integrations are like just few minutes away. You can do it, test it, and then you can release it. But we do provide support on that as well, 24-hour SLA for integration.
Got it.
Now, uh, and now Model Context Protocol has come out. Google's A2A, agent to agent protocol has come out.
Yes.
We are launch partner for Google's A2A. We are also launch partner for MIT's NANDA project. That is also another A2A run by MIT Research Lab. So now we have more options as a developer as well. But from a business user point of view, we are looking to have these one-click integrations and also Model Context Protocol as options.
Got it. Got it. And what are, I mean, I did want to get into one more thing, and then we can switch and talk about your own GTM. What I was going to ask you was this whole notion of agentic. and agents communicating to other agents. And what are the uh, if you can talk about any use cases you're seeing more of, which are truly agentic in the broadly in the GTM area. Are you
Yes.
seeing anything? Obviously, people talk about customer support and all that, but I'm thinking sales and marketing and customer
Yeah, yeah.
success. Yeah.
Uh, a lot, to be honest,
Okay.
a lot, right? Number one, what you do as an organization, right? Where the moment you track a website visitor, you
Mm,
can now have the whole agents set of agents that can do a lot more research about who the visitor is,
mm,
right? And then reach out to them via LinkedIn or email with say,
mm.
hey, you visited us. Is there something that we can help you with? So it can do all the pre-warming before even an account manager jumps onto it. But you can
Right.
also have agents have a logic wherein if it detects that they are a high-profile customer or a larger customer, it will not do the LinkedIn email outreach. Rather, it will send an internal email to the entire leadership of the startup or SMB or the enterprise, whosoever
Mm,
is relevant, that hey, someone reached out. I think you should speak to them. These are the details. So that is purely agentic. The other scenario is writing blog posts, ebooks, technical papers, etc., just to and
yeah.
programmatic SEO, just to ensure that your brand is available
Mm,
everywhere for everyone to see. That is number two. Number three is AISDR itself. Like I said, have a different lens for
yeah.
AISDR because then you will see that it is the best effective way to reach out to 100,000 inboxes or a million inboxes, which is purely agentified. And you would see, you just saw how agentic it is already.
Got it.
So
So the point you're making is, sorry to interrupt, but the Lizer visual that you showed and the whole diagrammatic, call it the super GTM workflow. So have you seen parts of it that have been deployed? Most of it has been deployed, and you're seeing different across different customers. I'm trying to
correct,
get a sense of, are you
correct,
seeing more in the SMB mid market? Are you seeing certain industries? Just to get a sense of the maturity, right, of the
correct.
market. Yeah.
What you saw there is all deployed for various customers in various, I would say, versions basically. So there
Okay.
are, I mean, I can tell you, there is a multi-billion-dollar organization.
Yeah.
They are building all their marketing agents on Lizer to automate case study writing, ebook writing, technical paper writing, etc. There is another multi-billion dollar organization from Asia. They are automating their I mean, I would say blog writing scenario where the agents write 30,000 blog posts in 6 different languages in a year, but also convert these blog posts into TikTok reels
Mm.
using faceless AI videos. So those what you saw in the mega GTM agent are all deployed in production for various organizations in various flavors. And there are also SMBs and startups who are more keen on immediate results because
Right.
they want emails to go out. They want social media posting. So they focus more on AI SDR and social media and AI phone dialer, while the larger organizations are looking at brand establishment, which is where they more focus more on content generation and content distribution. So these are
Got
the
it. So
two.
there's
Yeah.
a question that's come in through LinkedIn, really around the use of voice and voice agents for GTM use cases, right? Sales and marketing. And if you're seeing more of that in again, any particular geographies, be it US or overseas, international markets, and again, are you seeing it more in are you seeing any sales use cases?
We have customers in US and in India. So definitely these two markets. Um, Not in Europe for sure.
Yeah.
The policies are pretty strong there. They already have
Right.
their
Right.
AI.
Mm.
But US and India are very big markets, and also multi-language markets as well, which makes it even more interesting.
Yeah.
I think a couple of months back, we happened to demo the voice agents to one of the largest life insurance company in India, and you would know who if I say the largest, and all senior execs. And they were testing the agent in real time in 2 3 languages, and they left super impressed. They, for the first time, they're seeing that there is a possibility to replace at least 50% of their 2000 plus call center team. So definitely India and US are very big markets.
Okay, got it. So I'm going to switch gears now, Shiva, to cover a few other things. This is we've talked a lot about Lizer and your solutions and so forth. Let's talk about your own GTM. What what are you seeing is working for you all today, and how do you see it changing in the coming months as we go into 2025 in terms
Yes.
of the GTM motions for you to do your own customer acquisition, customer adoption?
Our GTM starts with the product money. That is
Okay.
something that I want to emphasize to every founder or company who's in this call.
Yeah.
Get your product right. Ensure that the product solves a problem. Fix your
Yeah.
product if there are issues, because the GTM starts right there. Once you do that, then when you try whatever things that we tried, it always works. So what are things that are bringing a lot of I would say return on the GTM side? Number one is our SEO strategy. So we have agents writing blogs, technical papers, etc. That's number one. Number two, LinkedIn strategy. Not only the founder led LinkedIn, so Ani does fantastic posts. I do some posts as well. So we are pretty active on LinkedIn because our customers are on LinkedIn. We haven't quite cracked the Twitter market, but yeah, Twitter is slightly different kind of a GTM, I mean, customer base. But you may have, if your customer base on Twitter, go to Twitter and do what you have to do there. But that is number two for us, the social media
Yep.
focus. And number three is just ensuring that your web pages are designed to collect information, make it easy for customers to understand what you do and share their emails or contact details to get started. Do not just push them all the way to your book a form page. So we have one of our founding team member, Vaibhav, is fantastic that way. He continues to figure out nuances of how do we get customer take an action instantly rather than getting them to a standalone page and convert it. So that is number three. And number four, very recently, we experimented with an AI phone agent. You will find the number on our website right on top. So people are calling and people are chatting and people are sharing information as well. There is another way for you to get opportunities. And the last one is ads. Um, our ad budget is $3,000 per month. It's nothing big. So, but we are doing ads just from a repurposing point of view. We don't want to be a company to spend like $1 million on ads.
Mm,
So we want, and that's the reason. So get your product continuously better. Let the product speak for itself, so that the word of mouth happens.
mm,
And that is still the biggest marketing hack that you could always do, which is
mm,
when people start speaking about your product automatically. But these are three or four things that are really working for us. What has not worked for us is influencer marketing. Never
mm.
worked for us. Affiliates never worked for us. Probably we didn't execute well, or we didn't have enough time to focus. But those things have never worked for us. Our outbound has just started, so we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah. And when you say ads, you're talking about retargeting ads, right? People who land on your
Yes.
site or okay, gotcha. Okay. So have you done any LinkedIn and that kind of but that gets a little pricey, expensive.
LinkedIn ads, zero. Yeah, we tried. We did spend some on LinkedIn. No, zero actually. We are
Got it.
trying something else in LinkedIn now. Instead of your ads appearing on the, I would say, on the feed, we kind of promote some posts for sometimes short, I mean, posts that I write or Ani writes. And we're also trying this new thing that LinkedIn has, which is you can send in-mails as promotional in-mails as well. So these are a couple of things that we are trying. But I can definitely say that Adam Robinson, for example, is a fantastic inspiration. There are a lot of such folks who have cracked the LinkedIn algorithm as a machine. So I would say that has a better, the better return rather than ads on LinkedIn.
Okay, got it. A couple more closing questions. I know we're coming to the end of time. So what do you see just looking ahead 6, 12, 24 months, what do you see as the future of AI and where it's going to transform go to market? And then what's the and the, my next question, I'll just tee it up for you, which is what's your advice, recommendation for companies, who are trying to dabble or trying to get into AI powered GTM? But yeah, those
Yes,
are two closing questions.
sure. Yeah. First one, the AI GTM stack will continue to get better. Uh, Clay will continue to get better. All the other players in the market, AISDR players, marketing players, will continue to get better. um, because they're very keen about it. We had one of the biggest AI marketing company reach out to us and they want to acquire us. While we were not, we said no straight instantly, and we probed to understand what is happening. They said, look, we are the biggest AI marketing brand, but our sales is slowing down, and we want to become agentic now. We want your agent layer to sit on top so that the marketing teams can create their own version of our brand or product, right?
Hmm.
So I'm 100% sure that in the next 6-12 months, your AI GTM stack will improve tremendously. A lot of products will be will mature a lot, and you'll also have options like Lizer where you can build your own stack. Instead of paying $20,000, you pay $2,000 and have your own agents up and running for yourself the way you sell. That is to answer question number one. On number two, which is um,
Yeah, new
how do you
companies getting into AI for GTM.
yeah,
Where should they invest, right? What's the low hanging fruit? Yeah.
have your curiosity absolutely at peak? when we were when we are a child, we tried everything, right? We would have touched fire, we would have tasted things, we would have jumped from bed. Have similar mindset. Try every product in the market, have a budget for it, have a 3-month budget for that, wherein you're just going in an experiment mode. And wherever you have a positive feedback, start doubling down, extend your experiment for another year, which is how you would learn. But just go ahead and taste, like how you get into a buffet. Just go and taste everything right in front of you to figure out what really works for you. How you enter a sweet shop, taste all the samples. That is your first go, and that'll give you what is that you really like. So yeah, that's my closing thoughts. Have the budget, go have the curiosity level so high. That's the only way for you to grow the business. Don't be a laggard. Don't get left out because your competitors and new players are going to eat you every day with AI.
Yeah, Shiva, amazing conversation. Thank you. I just am putting up the thank you slide. So I know you've got your LinkedIn here and email. Is that the best way for folks to reach you as a follow
Absolutely,
up?
yes.
Yeah. And folks, you've got my LinkedIn and email. That was Shiva Surendra of Lizer AI. And that concludes another episode of AI GTM Talks. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you for the
Thanks.
conversation today.
Thanks, Mary. Take care.